Bluestone Manor. Can you believe this, y'all? I think I manifested this. I've met Dorinda Medley a few times before. She's held my baby a couple years ago. I saw her in Saratoga one. Actually, no, I saw her in Saratoga twice. And we've talked in DMs and we've gone live on IG. But a couple weeks ago, she DM'd me and she invited me to her Halloween luncheon. If you get invited to Bluestone Manor, you go to Bluestone Manor. I was so excited. I said yes immediately. The first thing I did was picked out my outfit. I ordered something new. I got my whole look together and I even steamed it the night before. It was everything. Tried to be on theme, cutesy. I ordered black roses in a black velvet box for Dorinda as a gift. And I planned some real ideas in advance. I hyped it up all week and then I went and it was everything and more. It exceeded expectations. Just gorgeous. The day was beautiful outside. This time of year in this area is the best time of year for looking at the scenery. I think they have a name for people who come out to see the foliage because it's so beautiful. I think they're called peepers. But it was just the sun was shining. My look pulled through, so I was feeling amazing. I drive there. It's only about an hour from where I live, and I arrived 30 minutes early because I'm like nervous. I just want to make sure I'm on time because it said on the invitation 1 p.m. sharp. And when I get there, the gate is closed. So I'm just like pulled over to the side of the road. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I am not going up to the buzzer. I'm not going to be that person who's 30 minutes early, like, let me in. So I just sat in my car and I smoked a joint. So I'm like half an hour early to Dorinda's, but that's okay because I like to be early and I get to smoke a joint. Don't look at my nails. How dare you look at my nails? I haven't had time to do them. And I don't do my nails anyways because I'm a mom and there's no point. Like, I'm always washing my hands. It's a waste. Like, no one has time to go get gels on the regular. But anyways, wow, am I about to be unhinged? I was just taking pics and recording myself, but another car showed up and they're so brave. They just like got out of the car real quick. They come up to my car. They're like, "Are you here for Dorinda's?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Do you know if we should go up?" And I was like, "No, I'm too scared." He's like, "I'll do it." And he just immediately went up and buzzed them. And I'm just like in the car, like waiting. I don't know what to do. All right, somebody else is here, so I don't feel so bad. And they went up to the little buzzer thingy, and I guess we were told to wait until 1 p.m. sharp. So he gets back in the car, and then I see security kind of peeping out. And I'm like, oh, shoot, they saw us. They just opened the gates, and this guy came around the corner and looked at me. And I'm just sitting here still smoking. The gates are open. Open the gates. This feels like Frozen. Oh my God, they're closing the gates now. But then security comes out. I think his name was Todd, and he took my name down, then directed me to pull up to the gate so that other cars could start lining up behind me. And I took pictures of the gate. I mean, everything from the jump was decorated. The gate to Bluestone Manor was decorated. It was beautiful. So Carrie Ann works for Dorinda. When we pull up, she's standing outside of Bluestone Manor. She asked us all to stand in front of the door for a picture for when Dorinda came out. And so while we're posing for the picture, Dorinda comes out. She greets us all. The music is loud. The smoke machine is on. I really didn't have time to process everything because it was just almost sensory overload. It almost felt like the beginning of the Traitors when they have like the big explosions. I even asked the security guy, I was like, are there gonna be like explosions or something? He's like, I don't think so. I was like, no, she wouldn't do that. That's too much. So first thing we walk in and people are kind of just hanging out in the foyer and the two living room areas are off to the side. I mean, it's just like such a perfect house. I just love it. I wish I was there right now. People are just like taking pictures and everything, but then she's like, let's go into the dining room. So we all follow her into the dining room and it's gorgeous. Everything is just perfection. Ugh. So we sit down. Dorinda serves us food. She has us all like take our plates and we go into the kitchen. And one by one, she like actually put the lasagna that she cooked herself onto our plates. I was like, oh my God, Dorinda's like really getting in there. She made a veggie lasagna and a meat lasagna. I had some of the veggie lasagna. It was delicious. She also served green beans, garlic bread, and brie. She's like such a great hostess. I have no complaints at all. She nailed it. But while we were eating, that's when people started asking questions. And one of the first questions was, I think, from Caduce, Richie, and it was about the new cast versus the old cast. What does she think? Dorinda spoke on her feelings, and it just felt like it was a similar sentiment that most people are having in reaction to the new cast and how the newer girls seem to be more produced. Dorinda went on to talk about how things were when they were filming and how low budget the production was in comparison to how things are today. Outside promotion of the show or watch parties, anything like that, they did all of that by themselves. She gave us an example of, I think it was like the end of a season or something. They held a party where Ramona would be like, okay, Dorinda, you get the food. Okay, Sonia, you get the alcohol. Luann, you do this. And like hearing it from her mouth was like I knew that, but it was a good reminder when, we're watching the current season, how different things are. She also talked about how the Jersey Housewives were going to come to the Berkshires last season. So production reached out to her asking if she would do a dinner, and she said no because of the state of the cast, which I don't blame her. I don't even watch Jersey anymore. So I didn't even know what was going on, but even I agree, like I wouldn't have them over there. The thought of them tearing up Bluestone Manor is like that makes my heart hurt. Like I want to cry singing about that. But she did agree to do a lunch for them when they were going to take their trip out to the Berkshires. But I guess the house that the Jersey ladies were going to stay in burnt down. So Teresa called Dorinda and was like, it's a sign. It's a sign. So they didn't wind up doing the lunch, but somehow the topic of cheating came up, and I took that as my opportunity to ask my question. So I said, speaking of cheating, what did you think of Tom Sandoval during the filming of The Traitors? And I'm sorry to say that unfortunately, she didn't say anything bad. She even like it looked like it was painful for her to say that. She's like, I can't say anything bad about him. But she did a spot on impression of him, and I was dying. And I couldn't and I wouldn't try to get any secrets from Dorinda about the Traitors because apparently they put a bounty on your head if you leak anything. There is a very, very large fine that I wouldn't want to pay. So I don't blame them for keeping the secrets. After lunch, we went outside in front of the big, huge inflatable pumpkin that she had outside, and we all took pictures with her and video with Dorinda. While people were taking their pictures, I was peeping around the grounds a little bit, and I have to say, it is truly, truly stunning. I mean, the Berkshires aren't that far away from where I live and where I grew up, so I am familiar with the scenery, but from Bluestone Manor, it's just unlike any other. And Dorinda said that Bluestone Manor is on 18 acres of land, but there's over 100 acres of protected land surrounding, so the views will never change. And that's just priceless, right? I mean, the pictures and video do not do it justice. I cannot express the feeling you get when you're there. And I know I'm hyping this up big time, but rightfully so. I forgot what she called her scarecrow. She didn't call it a scarecrow, but it's so pretty. It has like pompous coming out, like a whole like crown. It's just so gorgeous. And the placement of it is at the top of the stairs that go down to the hedges. It's just so gorgeous. I try to take pictures of all the different sitting areas. I just, in my head, when we went by the first one, I was like, oh my God, is this where she said, and then the unicorns are gonna come out in the morning? Like, to Vicky when they were fighting about COVID. Oh my gosh. And that swing was right there, right on the tree that's behind the pumpkin. I wanted to get a picture of it or like get a picture on it, but I ran out of time. And we didn't get to see all of the grounds of Bluestone Manor, but what we did see was amazing. I would love to go in the summertime when the pool's open because we didn't see the pool area. So we go back inside, and Dorinda brings us upstairs to go see the fish room. And everyone kind of like was already in front of me, so I kind of came in a little bit late and I dropped my sunglasses. So I was like really struggling. This room. Look at these lights. Sorry. Sorry. Stop. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is the fish room? This is the What's wrong with this room? Is this the fish room? What's wrong with this room?
No, that was Paige's.
Okay.
I love this room.
Right, I think
What's wrong with it?
It's
so
Well, have
nice.
they made comments about it since you did the renovation and redid it? Have they trash talked?
I love the fish room. The fish room is a beautiful room. I really don't understand why anyone wouldn't like the fish room unless like they just really hate fish. But I loved it. It's a corner room. It has like its own bathroom, its own ensuite. What's the problem? I don't understand. She didn't tell us to take off our shoes, so we all wore our shoes, but I know that we did talk about the rules, I think, before we ate lunch, and she's like, those aren't hard rules, right? Like, don't eat upstairs. Who eats upstairs? Kind of agree with her with that. But after the fish room, we head back downstairs. This is kind of when everyone pretty much started to get kicked out. I was trying to take as many pictures and video as possible. I went back to go get my bag from the dining room, and then that's when I went to the two living rooms off the foyer, and I tried to take as much content as I could before Dorinda saw me and yelled, Jenny, did you get your gift back yet? Which I took as the cue to get the fuck out. But Dorinda gave us huge gift baskets on the way out. The gift baskets were massive. I went on Instagram Live and showed everyone all the contents of the gift bag. They're great, so generous, and I could not be more grateful for the invitation. Bluestone Manor is more than I could have ever imagined. I will be high off of Bluestone Manor for the rest of my life. It felt regal. Did Bluestone Manor change my life? Yeah, that's life-changing. For those of you who are dying to go and may think that it's never going to happen, I highly recommend you just keep manifesting and stay up to date with Dorinda on social media. She does these events for fans. The majority of the people there paid for tickets to go, so you can go to Bluestone Manor someday. The guy who got the Airbnb from a couple years ago, he was there. They flew in from Chicago. Another couple flew in from Florida. A lot of people came in from the city. That's like a 3-hour drive. That's even longer than it took me to get there. But if old school RHONY is your thing and you feel emotionally connected to that franchise and or Dorinda, I highly, highly recommend going to Bluestone Manor someday. It is